Welcome to another episode of UEN's PDTV Principals Edition. Today we have traveled to Boulder Elementary School in Garfield County School District to learn how teacher leader and administrator Elizabeth Julian invites community and state partners to help enhance the education of her students.
As the head teacher, I get to be the lead teacher for preschool through 6th grade, as well as be the administrator. So I get to do the principal responsibilities and secretary and just all that fun stuff. But the big meat of it is being the coordinating the educational programs for our students and to be able to provide them with enriching activities that are equal to their peers in other communities. In being in a rural area, we actually as Boulder are considered a frontier community. We don't have enough people to be considered rural. It's a unique school in that it's run more traditionally like, the one-room schoolhouse, but we do break up into small groups, and the way our school operates is that we don't divide people up necessarily by grade level, but by their learning level, and it's all taught through multi-age learning. It's a more natural way of that students are kind of grouped together in things that in their similar abilities, whether it's in their math groups or their reading or writing, and then they also get to learn from each other. And there's some benefits of getting to do multi-age learning because you have kids that excel at a faster rate, and then also students getting to be the teachers and getting to teach other people and set the example.
It's a busy day here at Boulder Elementary School. The students have visitors from the Utah Film Center, the Utah Education Network, and SEDC to help them learn about all sorts of topics, from filmmaking to film careers, from astronomy to digital citizenship. In this episode, we'll learn how Elizabeth has managed to have so many partners visit her school and how she makes the most of the expertise they have to offer her students.
The elementary school was able to bring in the Utah Film Center's educational outreach, and UEN come in and do some workshops with the students. And this morning the Film Center focused on, with 2 different age groups, doing stop motion film and combination of how film and animation are played out. And then UEN came in and was talking mostly about the production of broadcasting and the different potentials of careers and kind of the background information, but also got to be a hands-on workshop that the students got to participate and experience. And I think that having the hands-on opportunity is one of the most beneficial, that, especially being in a rural area, that you don't get to necessarily have people in your life that have a large variety of backgrounds of careers or exposure to different arts. And so when you have professionals come in and participate with the students, they get to see it in a different way and participate with professionals. And so that's what makes it special. A point about this morning that was really important is to see that there's different ways to express both creativity and then also proficiency, that when you start to introduce things like film, that whether it's they're doing something on Flipgrid or they're doing something as detailed and kind of complex of trying to figure out stop motion film, but you can even do it with changing out a whiteboard and changing and having the students teach how do you solve these types of math problems, or how do you show your knowledge of reading or science. And so it's another avenue and medium that students can share their learning and it not seem so task-oriented, and it allows teachers to check for proficiency without it being a test or a written assignment.
Yeah, multiple ways to communicate what they know and to have a little bit of choice and preference there too.
And it also supports all of them. It supports the 21st century skills that we're trying to, that they have to be able to cooperate with each other and communicate, but then it's also how do they creatively express themselves.
And then you're not stopping there.
No, we have,
you have more guests this afternoon, right?
We have SEDC is here today, and we've been able to work with SEDC pretty extensively over the years, and it's been really great. Chris and Clint have come and done different interactive workshops with our students, but today they're coming in and doing some support with digital citizenship, both with the parents and the students, and it's been something that there's a need, and there's also a direction from the School Land Trust and the community councils to provide parent education. And it's really nice having professionals come in and teach us more than what we know. Another thing that Clint is doing today is, in the past we've had SEDC come in and do some robots or coding, but one of the things they got this year was a mobile planetarium, and we haven't gotten to use that, and so he is bringing that for both the students and their families to get to explore. He gave us a lot of choices, and I told him he should do what he wants to teach. And I think sometimes when the person's the most excited about the content, it ends up being the best delivery.
Let's go to Jupiter. Today we've got our portable planetarium that we got through a STEM Action Center grant. It's about 20-meter diameter, about 15 feet tall planetarium system where we can go anywhere in the universe, model galaxies, constellations, eclipses, all kinds of fun stuff. So we just came from there talking about phases of the moon with the kids, and went to view a couple different planets, and then tonight with the parents we'll talk about constellations and the stories that our culture and other cultures have about the stars in the sky.
Every year we come up here and do this with parents and students, so we've kind of built a basis on the basics of internet safety. The principal here, she had a kind of a specific ask. She asked how to actually practically use some of those applications. So we kind of tied that in with the planetarium that Clint brought. So we took all the kids over to the planetarium, and then we brought them back here and we used Utah's online school library, specifically the Gale databases. So we looked at those to determine which was easier, searching astronomy in Google or searching astronomy in Gale's databases. And hands down, Gale and Utah's online school library won, because the amount of results that we got when we Googled astronomy was crazy. And we talked about all the different types of results. Well, when you go into Gale, you get a collection of articles or books, and it was very easy to pick. It can be read aloud to them. The kids can adjust their reading level, they can print it, but they also know that they can use those photos and images and content that they find to use in their research projects, because we also wanted to talk about copyright.
With where we are with media, it's teaching them how to do it safely. And and even with Chris coming in and doing the digital citizenship and internet safety, and teaching the parents how to use the Utah Online Library, that their students are using it, but if it's not being reinforced at home, then they don't see the value of it across and it's teaching them how to be citizens and have an opportunity to have lots of choices of what they do when they leave.
How did you get them all to come?
So SEDC we've been able to establish for quite a while. I don't even remember, one of my first years. I've been in this role for I guess 10 years now. At some point I met Chris and Clint, and they kind of said, oh, we can come. And so I just started reaching out to them and getting them to come. And they have come every year for at least one activity, and sometimes multiple times. And so that was how that kind of happened. And then the Utah Film Center, I got an email from them that just said, we're doing some outreach. And I had been in contact with Julie, who is the outreach educator coordinator, and she and I have emailed about other things in the past. I will say that I have made it a big part of my goals of bringing in people. When you have a small rural school, the students are set with the experiences and expertise of the educators in their building. And so there's a lot more that I don't have the skills to share with them. And so to bring people in that can share things like the Utah Film Center or the planetarium, or what can you do with broadcasting? That's not information that I have readily available to share. And same with some, theater and music. And so it's all the enrichment things.
So it sounds like some of the access points has been through the state's POPs program for the arts, but then just kind of searching and finding what are other organizations that offer this.
So you get on the rotation with, whether it's like the ballet has come and the opera has come, and they all put you on a rotation similar with the museums and the science center, and you get on a rotation, and that's nice, and as long as you respond, then they keep you on the rotation. And so it's making sure that that happens. But then the other one is just finding different organizations and taking advantage of, we have the Beverly Taylor Arts Grant. And so it's not enough in a small school for us to have an art teacher, but you can pay to have people come. And so we've done that, and we've also been really fortunate. We partner with the local arts council in our town, is the Boulder Arts Council, and they partner with us, and they do a lot to help us bring artists for an extended period of time.
You're doing community outreach in a couple of different ways with organizations and businesses, both local and statewide, as well as bringing the parents in as part of the community.
Yeah, and I think whenever we've tried to do it, we've always done a community outreach aspect of it, like the year that we did the Utah Children's Theater during the day, but then at night it was open to the public, and we did a community theater presentation. And so when we did the production at the end of the week, the students did theirs, then there was an admission, and then the adults did theirs. To have the parents get to experience the planetarium is just as exciting as for the kids, and it's also a shared opportunity for them. And the more that you can bridge what's happening in school with at home, the conversations are richer for the kids, and the experience is bigger. And they get to talk about what they learned with the Utah Film Center and broadcasting at home tonight because the parents were part of it.
I love how the school then becomes this heart of community interaction, but just education, learning, exposing everyone to new ideas and experiences. Thank you so much for letting us visit you, teach your students, and hear what you're doing here.
Yeah, thank you. I really appreciate it.
Now that you have seen how Elizabeth provides opportunities for her students, teachers, and parents to interact with experts from around the state, consider how you can provide opportunities for community engagement and collaboration in your school as well. First, say yes to invitations that come your way. Check your inbox and your voicemail and follow up on invitations from organizations around the state. Didn't receive an invitation? You can reach out and request opportunities as well. Talk to UEN, the Utah State Board of Education, and a number of other state organizations to have experts come to your school. We'll post a list of ideas on our teacher toolkit for this episode. Finally, make the most of the opportunities you have to have experts visit your school. Let these experts know what curriculum you're studying and how they can support it. Follow up with lessons of your own, and invite parents and communities to interact with experts as well. For even more ideas, resources, and tools to help you implement these strategies in your classroom, be sure to visit uen.org/PDTV and access the teacher toolkit that accompanies this episode. Thanks for watching UEN's PDTV. To access more professional development resources from UEN and to schedule a training, visit uen.org/development. We'll see you next time.